Every summer, the same story plays out. Rumors, agents, leaks. Here we go. Fans refreshing Twitter at 3 a.m. like their lives depend on it. But behind every official announcement, behind the smiling photos with club scarves, behind the videos of private jets landing, lies a world almost no one sees. A world of power brokers, million-euro favors, shadow negotiations, offshore accounts, and men who move footballers like pieces on a chessboard. This is not the transfer market you think you know. This is not just clubs buying and selling players. This is an ecosystem, a network of agents, fixers, advisors, lawyers, investors, owners, and silent partners who influence the sport more than most managers ever will. This is the story of the football transfer mafia, the secret networks that control deals. Welcome to Inside the Game. Football wasn't always like this. In the 1980s, most players negotiated their own contracts. Agents were few, money was limited, transfers were simple. But then the 1990s arrived: satellite TV, global broadcasting, the Premier League boom. Suddenly, football became big business, and every big business needs middlemen. Super agents emerged, men like Pini Zahavi, the godfather of modern football deals. He engineered Rio Ferdinand's record-breaking move. He brokered Chelsea's transformation under Roman Abramovich. He became the man managers whispered about, the man who knew everyone and controlled everything. When the money exploded, the agents multiplied, and the market was never the same again. Then came the titans, names fans chant, fear or hate. Mendes Raiola, Jorge Mendes, Kia Yorabshian, Jonathan Barnett. These weren't just agents, they were empires. Raiola wasn't negotiating deals, he was orchestrating them. Zlatan, Pogba, Holland. He built careers like a movie director builds stars. Mendes didn't just represent Cristiano Ronaldo. He built networks inside clubs from Porto to Wolves to Atletico Madrid. So deep, so strategic, it looked like a footballing syndicate. Kia, he wasn't even a licensed agent at first. He was the advisor who could make governments, owners, and clubs move. These men didn't just bring players to clubs. They brought clubs to players. They didn't work inside the system. They became the system. In the 2000s, a darker business emerged: third-party ownership. Investment groups began buying percentages of players, sometimes 20%, sometimes 40%, sometimes more. To them, a player wasn't a person, he was a portfolio. A footballer's value could double in a year, triple in 2, a safe, high-yield investment with global attention. Clubs in South America relied on it. European teams flirted with it. Agents loved it because it meant control. A player might think he's choosing his next club, but someone else is profiting from the move. When Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano joined West Ham, the football world was stunned. The truth? They weren't owned by West Ham. They were owned by companies connected to Kia Yorabshian. It wasn't a transfer, it was a business transaction. FIFA eventually banned third-party ownership, but the networks behind it, they never disappeared. They simply evolved. The biggest secret of the transfer market? Most deals are not done by agents or clubs. They're done by middlemen, consultants, fixers, lawyers. People who never appear on TV or social media. People who don't represent a player, but represent opportunity. A club might say, we want a striker. Within hours, 5 middlemen contact 5 agents, who contact 5 clubs, who contact 5 more middlemen. It's a web, a maze of intermediaries, commission cuts, and favors. Some middlemen are legitimate. Some are not. Some operate in legal gray zones where football becomes indistinguishable from finance. A single transfer can involve a player agent, a club agent, a selling club consultant, a buying club consultant, a legal advisor, an image rights specialist, a tax advisor, and 1 or 2 silent partners. That's 8 or 9 individuals sharing one deal. This is not chaos. It's the model. It's the mafia of influence. Ever wonder why some transfer rumors appear out of nowhere? Because they're not rumors. They're tools. Agents leak stories to raise prices. Clubs leak stories to lower them. Journalists get exclusive access if they play by the rules. A superstar striker might be linked to a rival club, not because it's true, but because his current club wants him to sign a new contract. A player might want a new challenge because his agent wants a signing bonus. Fans think they're watching news, they're watching strategy. Transfer drama is not accidental. It's engineered, and every headline is a negotiation tactic. Behind the agent stands an even bigger force: the owners, oil tycoons, sovereign wealth funds, hedge funds, Asian conglomerates, American private equity giants. These owners don't just buy clubs, they build networks. City Football Group 12 clubs, Red Bull 4 clubs, Pozzo family multi-club model before it was cool. Why does it matter? Because transfers are easier when you control both ends of the deal. Loans become seamless, fees become negotiated internally, players become assets in a global chain. It's not corruption, it's strategy, but it changes the game forever. No one likes to talk about it, but it exists. Bribes to influence decisions, consulting fees that are actually kickbacks, offshore payments hidden in tax havens, agents paying coaches, clubs paying families, friendly loans repaid with friendly transfers. In some countries, the entire football structure runs on quiet envelopes. You'll never see it on camera, but insiders know exactly where to look. One investigator once said, "If fans knew how many transfers were fixed financially rather than football-wise, they'd never watch the sport the same way." This is the transfer mafia's deepest layer, the part no documentary will ever fully expose. But we all know it's there. You think agents just negotiate salaries? Think again. Some agents influence which coach gets hired, which players get benched, which players get sold, which players get minutes to protect value, which clubs become feeder teams, which academies get scouted. In some clubs, sporting directors answer to the owners, but in others, they answer to agents. An agent might say, "You want this star player? Then you must also sign these 2 young players." It's a package deal. They don't just manage players. They manage relationships. They manage leverage. They manage football. The newest members of the transfer mafia aren't human. They're algorithms, AI scouting systems, data-driven recruitment models, predictive performance engines. Some clubs use software to find undervalued players before anyone else notices. Others use data firms connected to agents to inflate a player's market value. Some companies produce statistical reports that quietly influence transfer decisions across multiple clubs. Data isn't neutral, it's a weapon, and those who control it control the future. What comes next? Even more networks, even more influencers, even more multi-club models, even more financial engineering. Transfers will become bigger, faster, more global, and more secretive. Fans will see the headlines, but not the deals behind them. Football is becoming what it has been for years behind closed doors. A business first, a sport second. The transfer mafia is not disappearing, it's evolving. Every time a player holds up a new shirt, fans see joy. But behind that moment lies a machine built on money, power, and influence. The agents, the fixers, the middlemen, the billionaires, the data kings, the hidden networks. They shape football far more than goals and tactics ever will. But here's the paradox. Even when we know the truth, we still love the game. Because football is emotion. Football is drama. Football is dreams. And the transfer market, corrupt or not, is the biggest theater of them all. Tell us in the comments, which transfer ever shocked you the most? And which one do you think wasn't as clean as it looked? This is Inside the Game.